Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing breakdown analysis on AMD. Reason for this is AMD could be having quite a good move either way, so we're going to give some price targets on that. And also Delta Pro Master, comment on screen now, was asking a bit about AMD, so I thought I'd put it into a video because it is probably easier explained on that. So firstly, looking at AMD, obviously it was up nearly 4% on Friday's close. And where did it close? It closed right on this second deviation on the 4 hour and actually above the second deviation on the daily. This kind of tells us that this could be another push to the upside, because when it's closing above the deviation, you can kind of count it as it's kind of conquered it and is now looking for its next target. So as we're still kind of just closed right on the fourth deviation, it's not fully confirmed, but as it's closed on the daily, we will most likely see a push continuing upwards. So looking into Monday and the rest of the week, we could see AMD break above this kind of 212 area. And our price targets on that upside, we have kind of small price targets at this 414.50 and 116.25, like those kind of areas, not full resistances, but maybe areas where we may get slight pullbacks. But it is also possible that moves could finish at those areas. However, more of our proper price targets would be closer to the 121, the 118, and on the very extreme basis, if we go up to it, would be 130 and 127. And obviously you might want to keep an eye on the all-time high, because we would probably get a push out of this move. So I'll just change that color so it's clearer when looking at it like that. So these are kind of our targets. We can kind of clear the 14 and the 16 as they're more half deviations, and we won't really trade off those. So it can just be good areas to lock in profits, maybe if you're long now. So going straight into it, what's quite likely, I would say, this week is that we see AMD come up, test this 118, and either pull back and that'll be the end of the move, or we may pull back slightly and retest, and again we're going to have another struggle kind of around this all-time high. That could be the end of the move. It could pull back after that, but if we do break through, we will most likely come to this 128 and 130 area, and that is where I imagine the move would finish, because when it comes into this area, it's very oversold on the 4 hour, and large cap stocks, which AMD is not very likely to stay out of the third deviation for very long, which it would be obviously if it's coming into this level. So if we came into this 128, 130, we would most likely get a strong pullback, as we did at this 122. This is basically when AMD hit this fourth deviation. They move over time, that's why it's now at a different level. But that's when AMD hit a fourth deviation, and then you can see we got that strong pullback. We will most likely get that same reaction if we can push back up to this level. So just keep an eye on that. That would be kind of a good short area, and I personally would probably be buying some contracts short into that 128, 130 level. Now, we are at this one kind of at 111, 112 area, where this is where we need to kind of break above and close. So if we can do that, again, that's when we're most likely going to be getting these upwards targets. However, if we kind of fail to close above this, and as you can see intraday, it kind of kept coming into this level, pulling back, coming into it, pulling back. It couldn't break it in the day, and it did test it around 5 times. So that is showing that it is quite heavy resistant and may struggle to get through. So if it does fail to break through, we will pull back kind of to this 110 area. And when it comes into here, this is the other second deviation, as you can see. So when it comes back into here, it might just use that to kind of build up some more buying pressure, to come and retest this 111, 112 area. So that's what could happen. And then if we do that again, and if we break through, that's when we're looking at those targets to the upside. However, what could also happen is, as we've tried to test this so many times and keep failing, what is quite likely as well is that we pull back, retest this level, and we could just continue further down. And if we do, we kind of have a bounce target of around 102 and 101. This is most likely where the move won't finish to the downside, but will most likely provide a bounce move. As you can see, I think I did a video on it before. If not, it was in the Discord. when we come down to this level, we would get a bounce, as I said here, and that's exactly where this bounce moved, back to this deviation. So if we do come back to retest it, we probably won't get that same large bounce that we did last time, but we'll maybe get a bounce to this half deviation of 106, 105. So that's one thing, but we would most likely continue further down if we come into this level and come much closer to the statistical mean of around $92. So that's kind of where I see AMD going if it can't break up into a new high. So that would be my kind of key level. The 92.50, I would say, is where if I was short, I would be getting out completely of the short position, because once it comes into this statistical mean, then it's anyone's kind of guess on where it will go. It could quite easily start a new uptrend and break through, or try and test all these levels once again, or it could quite easily start a new downtrend and continue down further. But we would make a new video when it comes back to the statistical mean to give updated price targets, because they will change by then. But just in case for some reason it happened tomorrow or in the next few days, which is just very unlikely, but the key targets would kind of be that 82 and $83 areas would be good low risk kind of long areas. So that's the overall breakdown on AMD. I hope that helped. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.